Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And today is my birthday. And I just wanted to come on here real quick and just to express my absolute just thank you. Like my biggest thank you I can make right now, just for the amount of supporters who have been a part of the Jess Reacts series, just being able to provide discussion and support to me as I make these analysis and these feedbacks. It really means a lot, and I'm definitely just so honored and humbled by the opportunities and just the blessings that you guys have brought towards me, investments on Patreon, as well as just viewage and support and dialogue here on YouTube as well. I wanted to also take this time to celebrate 2,000 subscribers. I'm now at that point, and I'm over 100 Patreon members. That is just, it's so, I just feel like a broken record already at this point. It's definitely humbling, to say the least. And I can't believe that, like, this time a year ago, I didn't think that I would be doing this now. And I mean that in like a very humbling way of, I'm very thankful to be doing this because it's something I've always wanted to try, and the fact that I have the ability to do it, and so many of you are just the light for me and a support for me, has been nothing short of incredible. So thank you. I do have a couple people who wanted to send in requests, and they did, regarding just questions, and I wanted to take that time to answer. The first question that I had was, Jessica, what is your favorite K-pop groups, or your Gen 2, who's your favorite Gen 2 group? Because for me, I was a K-pop fan stemming from the second generation. Now I'm more of just a fan of dance, and since becoming an adjudicator and a professional within the field and in the industry, I really I wanted to take more of an unbiased approach to when I look at analysis and I look at routines. And so part of it is, I didn't want to overly invest in any groups, and I think that has been helpful to some degree. But I do have groups that I like. I would say my biggest group that I love is 2NE1. They are no longer formed as a group under YG, but CL, Minzy, Bomb, and Dara are my girls. They're pretty legit. I loved them, just that era of K-pop in general. It just because I was younger, and it just hit different for me. Just like a lot of people who are in the middle school, high school age, there's a lot of groups of the generations that you can really feel drawn to. And just like Gen 1, there are people who relate to Gen 1 more than Gen 2. I relate more to Gen 2 than to Gen 4, and then, eventually all the way down the line. So that's definitely where a lot of my fan biasness comes in, is from that era, more so than the 3 in Gen 4. But I do admire K-pop, and I admire the hard work that goes into the industry. It's definitely something commendable, very admirable, and it does take a lot to be in that position in that part of the industry. So thank you. Shout out to Callie on Patreon for asking that question. I'm glad that I was able to be able to express that, and to be able to have people that are curious, And there was a follow-up question that Callie asked. She said, how did I get into K-pop? So funnily enough, if you know what Neopets is a platform that I grew up playing. It was a platform that had games. It had you can create a pet, and you can feed it and make it level up and all of that. And there was something called a guild on there. So it was a group of people who are all interested in the same things. And so there was a K-pop guild. I joined it not knowing what K-pop was. The rest is history. I listened to, I think, Infinite, FX, and 2NE1 Big Bang. Those were like my first tastes of K-pop. And 2NE1's Try to Follow Me was the very first K-pop music video I ever watched. And it was just so different than anything I'd watched before, and the rest was history there. I got into the music side, and then I dived more into the variety show side, and then the dramas, of course. So I definitely have a lot of K-dramas, Asian dramas under my belt. I would say I started watching them in 2013, and now it's 10 years later with dramas specifically, and I've probably watched over 300 at this point. I've seen so many of them, and you know, that's a whole nother dive topic entirely. But with K-pop, I've been a listener for over 13 years now, I think. So it's definitely, I'm very seasoned in different seasonings of the good, the bad, and the ugly of K-pop, the cultural side, all of that. So that's probably why some of my references when I do analysis do stem from that lens. I do have a lot of background in the older generations than I do in the newer ones, but by doing these analysis, I'm able to learn so much more about the debuted groups as well as the newer groups, or the groups that have, there's something intriguing about what they bring to the table. So yeah, and then I had one more question that somebody asked. It was, who is your favorite freestyler, and do I have a preference or like a favorite from the Street Woman Fighter series with the crews? So I don't necessarily have a favorite member of a group, nor do I have a favorite group. I will say that each group has members that I admire and I respect for different reasons, and I feel like that's just an entirely different video, maybe on a trailer that's related to Street Woman Fighter. But I will say that freestyle wise, there are a couple people that I definitely admire as those who explore in freestyle. I would say one would be Slim Boogie. He is one of my mentors very early on when I was exploring waving and popping. He's definitely been a huge comfort for me diving into the realm of freestyle. And if you don't know who Slim Boogie is, he is very respected in the popping community. He's definitely been someone who is so he demonstrates an immense sense of humility in his craft, and the discipline is very admirable, and it's definitely something that I strive to want to be as a teacher. He does exude qualities that are very gracious as a teacher and instructor, and I want to be someone who even emulates half of that. So he's definitely one that I am just always so just mind boggled at the discipline and the intention that he brings to his craft. And it's definitely something I want to do with waving, and I want to do just with choreography, try to replicate some of those traits there. There are probably many others, but he was the first one that sparked for me as a freestyler. I would say I do have another teacher. His name is Jay Smooth. He is my direct mentor for waving. He's definitely one that he's allowed a place of grace for me as a teacher, and it means a lot that I have just a group of people in the waving community specifically. And I have John Gifted, I have Jesse Sykes, I just have Inspect Boogie, just to name a very, very few. There's so many people. Ushkan, there would be Alex and Kaylee, and it's just, the list goes on and on, especially because I got to meet so many of them recently at Waves Within, and just being able to be in the same room, the same space with them to exchange. There's just so many amazing qualities that everybody brings that is inspiring and captivates me to want to really hone in on my own craft and grow that way as well. So I don't know if I technically answered their question because it was in tying to a Street Woman Fighter, but if we're keeping it broad, those are who the people is very top of my head I would answer, but there's probably so many more. Honestly, every single time I watch any type of dance content or freestyle content, there's always something captivating or something that draws my attention that makes me want to understand more of what's out there, and how can I do better, how can I be better in my craft to be able to be in this position to grow myself as well as grow others, so but yeah, thank you again for those questions being asked, and thank you to you guys for watching. And I'm always appreciative of the time that we've spent in the discussions in the comments, as well as in the recommendations on Patreon and on YouTube. And I can't wait for the next year when I intend on doing this for a very long time. Even when my body transitions into different seasons of dance and teaching, I know that this is something that I definitely want to continue to invest in, and this relationship that I have with everyone here, I want to keep cultivating that, and I just thank you guys for wanting to be along the ride with me. So cheers to a new year, 1 year older, and I can't wait to get into it with you guys. As always, I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye guys.